fight here with somebody very new to the game. And I do have to say, playing these quick fights on here, online, it's just never a good time. And, yeah, I think I'll still keep putting out videos, but mostly against the computer, just because, yeah, I fought somebody yesterday who, threw like 20 punches around only. Getting outlanded like 40 punches to 10 or 15. But because of the high percentage and everything, and he took half through. I did win the fight, but I had to knock him out. And then I just fought somebody who was using upper body head movement to... Yeah, there we go. To keep me from actually being able to jab his body. Makes no sense, but, Also, I mean, the wait times are ridiculous. I mean, even looking at this, like, this guy has no idea how to play. He's using Loma, who is notoriously bad. And, he can start picking me apart here.
There's not a seat to be had in this arena, Johnny. It's got that big fight feel, doesn't it?
You have some fighters that are big show, big arena fighters, and they bask in this, they love this, they are born for this.
This game is never... but you can see people, when you play people in this game, you can even see them, not in this case, but you can see people going, okay, what can I do to mess the game up, to mess with what the game is trying to do. Again, not this guy, because he's really new to the game, but very common thing. And it's one of the things, like, I blame SCI all the time. I think they're a scumbag company. But SCI cannot keep up with how terrible people are who play video games. It's just not possible.
Score with that hook again. That counter shot lands.
Obviously this guy's really bad, which I appreciate. And yeah, and this is just kind of the game. Like, even this guy, he's bad, I'm beating him, but what's he gonna do? He's gonna be a jerk off.
Every time they drop their guard, they get
he's gonna get a lot of counters because he just keeps pushing buttons and you can't properly do anything to punish people for that. I'm beating the hell out of him, but it doesn't really do much. I mean, he's going to be knocked out pretty soon, I'd say, but... Like I said, I can definitely... I think this game shines against the computer. But these type of fights, sucks. And I've often thought to myself, like, obviously I have a really good record. And I don't know what would make those miss, but alright. Like, if you don't have a good record, if you're getting beat up playing this game, like, this has to be really miserable. Like, I can't picture anyone playing this game being like, yeah, that's more miserable than I think it is. But if you're losing all the time, you probably do. Like, this game is the quickest way to chase somebody away who just bought it. If you just bought this game, and all of a sudden you come out, and every match you play online is just the most toxic thing ever, yeah, I mean, you're gonna put the game down. It goes without saying. When you can't get people to drop. I mean, what's keeping him up? Please tell me what's keeping him up, Shitty mechanics, that's what it is. This game's just never been able to be any good online. It's gone from one problem to another. And, head movement is kind of broken also at this point. I mean, like... Look at what's going on with head movement. It's like, it's kind of ridiculous what people are getting away with. And also, again, how is head movement affecting your ability to get hit in the body? Like, that makes no sense.
about Loma in that
Like I said, I'll play this on the computer all day, and I'll praise it for how good it is against the computer. But
there's the bell for round 3. So the fight will
I mean, this guy's fighting as dumb as you can, also, and I still come in and get crushed though. It's not a matter of playing the game well. It's a matter of just hitting buttons. It's a matter of hitting buttons and knowing how to move backwards. That is this game. It sucks, but that is this game. And then I can't hit him. Can't hit him. Like I said, this is you know, if there's an update and something actually happens with this game, maybe you'll get me on here playing these again. But until then, no chance. This is a miserable experience online. Again, some of it SDI is to blame. A lot of it they're not. A lot of it is the fact that you cannot keep up with, you know, players just looking for any way to cheaply win a video game. Something every video game deals with, but when you're looking at a combat sports game with so many mechanics, it's just, you're just not going to be able to keep up with it. I'm not giving SCI a free pass or anything like that. Obviously, I think SCI is a shit company that owes us all refunds. But the fact that this is a thing is ridiculous. He quit, I think. Alright, let's get a quick fight in because, again, it's just so much different. I want to see if he won the second round. No, they didn't give him any of the rounds. I out-threw him in the second. I would have preferred not to do that. Oh, look at that. Look at how close that was. That's... Well, that's where I was... Okay. Alright. Regardless. And I will show you too, because if you look here, this only counts from the April patch forward. So anything you did before that doesn't count. And if you look at my full record, which is almost 900 wins to almost 300 losses... And then you see here, I'm only winning 70%. Now I'll show you the really embarrassing part, which is in ranked, I was 10-9. Now, fairness, I think I started out 0-6, but yeah, that's rough. I just kept going until I got my gold 4, which is the lowest gold belt you can get. Once I got that back, I never got back on it. But I actually want to do something here because featherweight and cruiserweight are the two weight classes that are not available to play online. Also, women's lightweight, I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it's women's lightweight. And featherweight's an interesting division because you got Chavez, you got Loma, you got Barrera, you got Morales, you got Marquez, Leonard, like Garcia's down here. You know, you do have a decent amount of fighters here. So let's go with Loma against Barrera. And I will say, like, I love the Matrix Loma. That looks awesome, obviously. But I do wish they had his orange and red. The like the fire outfit he had. I think there should be a lot more picks for gloves and trunks and designs in Create a Fighter also.
There can only be
just to get the bad taste out of my mouth of playing online. And yeah, I'm gonna switch Loma to Orthodox because I can't freaking box with Southpaws. I don't. And the game does not, to my knowledge, actually penalize you. Like, I know some fighters have switch hitter, which is gonna help you, you know, switch stances. Loma does not have that, but I actually don't think the game is actually programmed to have any difference between, you know, fighters in Orthodox, or their natural stance and the opposite. Oh, okay.
I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
Gotta be a little more patient against the computer, especially on Undisputed. Now that I'm thinking about it, did I switch it to Undisputed? I know I switched to 15 rounds.
Well, they beat the count and are ready to go again.
He's
I'll
all
lose
right.
the
I'd be
first
surprised if he makes it back to the corner. And if he does, will he get back up on the stool again? That was a shot.
He's got the advantage
Fine.
halfway through the round.
No doubt at all. You can see who's winning. You can see who's got it in hand. You can see who's comfortable. Or it's a bit of a mousetrap.
Ooh. That's some big shots on me there. Gotta back up.
There's not a seat to be had in this arena, Johnny. It's got that big fight feel, doesn't it?
You have certain
But yeah, I
fighters
mean, this
that
is
are
just
born for
such,
this, that are made for the big
you know, this is a
fights.
pretty clean
Looking at the corner
experience.
right there, that is that fighter right there. They're
And when you look at it
elevated
compared to the
lifting
online, it is night and day.
This is what they were born for.
And I don't, obviously, with servers and everything like that, there's a big difference between this and online. Outside of that, I really don't think there is that big a difference. I think the huge quality drop that you get online comes from the way people play, for the most part. There's definitely, I should not have 100% stamina, that's ridiculous. There's definitely problems with the game, but like, it's the way people play.
I knock somebody down like
It's the
that,
toxic nature of the game, like,
everything full barrel because I know his legs are gone. So this.
alright, now we're getting some shots in
If he
here.
doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
Yeah, I was a little too cocky in that first round. A little too close to a guy who can definitely hit, so I'm gonna at least be able to wear him out here. Then we can start trade.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Timing beats speed. Speed.
I'd say, and like, I think this kind of goes without saying. That was a nice combo by him. I think this kind of goes without saying, but you definitely want to have a stamina advantage. You know, whether it's online or offline, I think that's pretty clear.
Pretty close fight here in this round.
A very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other because no one dare.
I
do
meant to
anything
throw a
out of
left hook after that uppercut, not another left uppercut. Or, I'm sorry, right uppercut.
This fighter focuses on those long, straight punches, staying on the outside, and winning round after round.
These are my kind of fighters, boxing on the edge of the ring, using the jab,
got me
using
there.
footwork, moving left to right. It's like a bull in a matador.
And there are some fighters that are definitely harder to beat than others offline here. Like, I was playing Sugar Ray Robinson yesterday, day before, whatever, and he was beating me. The only reason I beat him was that I knocked him out. But he also didn't let his stamina drop. Well, actually he might have, but wasn't. Ali is a hard one to beat. You gotta keep switching up what you're doing against him.
Let's talk about Loma in that last round.
And that's that's fair. I mean, Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson is probably the greatest pound boxer ever. You know, everyone knows how great Ali was. So
My motto is, if it's not
that kind of
broken,
stuff
why
is actually
change it?
good.
An excellent last round, everything worked.
It should be,
Wait for
you know,
the
you should feel like you did
Until
something
then,
if you beat
keep
those
doing
fighters
what you're
on
just doing
Undisputed
because
in
you
this
won
game.
hands down.
I think they do a pretty good job at that. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to be just on the outside of that big right hook. Instead, I ate it. Alright.
That jab gets blocked.
Another thing, too, is like, sure, it can help you with button combinations, but when I'm playing against the computer here, even on Undisputed, it doesn't really make me a better player online, which is an odd thing. But it's, you know, it's kind of like Madden. You can play the computer and call a bunch of different plays and everything. But when you're playing a person, you're probably going to want to look for those meta plays. The defense is going to get the blitz every time, you know. The one-play touchdowns that pull defenses in weird directions. You know, people take players and put them out of position. It's all very common in sports games, and probably all games. It's just that I play sports games. But, you know, I think it's probably a pretty common thing in general. for games, people, they want to win, and they don't care if it's, I don't know, on the up and up, I guess, but...
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one.
I do think the slide back is a little OP in this game, only when you've already thrown several punches. If you wanted to slide back, you know, I get that. Sliding back is a big part of boxing. But you shouldn't be able to slide back after your combination is over. Or at least it should be less of a slide back. That's us getting into talking about how boxing takes your legs away from you before it takes away your, both those are. Before it takes away any, like, power in your arms. And, I mean, to ask them to properly get stamina with punching and then with, you know, how movement works, you're asking a bit too much there.
Back and forth they go. And he scores with the counter.
Really coming off this round. Oh, too far.
Can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight.
You gotta be careful, because in one round you can kind of destroy the stamina advantage that you had.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Oh, came up just short on him. Alright.
The bravery being shown here is just incredible.
Every once in a while, it has to be my controller. I'll go to throw a right uppercut and nothing happens. And it's that punch specifically, so I know that's gotta be either I'm not hitting the buttons right or what, but that shit drives me nuts.
Caution being thrown to the wind.
Yeah, I mean, this is just such a better version of the game. I mean, it's the same version, but, you know, just getting offline.
Look at that overhand right. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left.
And see, I like that. I like that he's jumping back because he knows that I'm going for that body jab.
Let's talk about Loma in that last round.
Like, that's the computer actually picking up on something that I'm doing, and I appreciate that.
See how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet, not until your senses have come back.
No doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
Oh.
Really intimidating, Todd.
Nah, that wasn't gonna work. That's the one thing is when you dip under and go to get somebody, all of those shots take a decent amount of time to animate, except for the uppercut.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round.
It's definitely easier for not only real people, but obviously the computer to see what you're doing there and kind of go, okay, I'll telegraph that out.
So close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
There's no reason for me to duck and weave and try to power punch him here. It's not working.
The courage on display here is incredible. Let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now.
Like I said, I mean, if nothing else, I'm actually enjoying playing the game right now. Is it the greatest thing ever? Nah, but way better than playing this online.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one.
And let the round end there.
Let's talk about Loma in that last round.
Yeah, see, I had a big stamina dump in that round there, but I'm throwing power punches. And, body shots.
Complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Surprised I haven't been able to counter him more this fight. That's the one thing that I'm usually pretty good at.
Wait for the
There was
reaction.
one.
Until then,
Yep, I got him
keep
with
doing
one
what
right
you've just
back.
been doing because you've won that hands down.
One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas. Over
Yeah, I
the
mean, this is
eyebrow, the
unquestionably
cheekbone.
the
You just gotta try
best
and cut
thing
the
you're
skin
going to
and
get
cut
out of
the
this
skin.
game. Also, you know, it kind of gives me a little fear there, because like I said, I hadn't played against a computer really since the game came out, when playing against a computer was just terrible. And so, you know, with a new patch, you know, they say by the end of June, you can't trust them because they've been late so many times. But, you know, they could always, obviously, like any game, put a patch out and really fuck up something they have here that, again, I think at least is enjoyable and well done. I think at a certain point, actually, you have to kind of just go, listen, this is online, and this is what it is. I can't really think of, like, an example that people could give and be like, well, this game made sure that there wasn't any spamming. You know, obviously there are less egregious games with it, but it's, you know, that's kind of how video games work. I remember when I was a kid, well before there was any online play. You wanted to play somebody, they had to be sitting next to you. And the person who lost at the game, they told you how bad it sucked and how you were cheating and all that kind of stuff. And that went with every game. Like, I remember the original Mortal Kombat was probably the first game, because I was like 5 when that game came out. And, you know, my cousin, he was older than me, and he would always destroy me at video games. But if I beat him at Mortal Kombat once a week, out of like, 20, 30 times, he would lose his shit, and that's it. He was done playing. So, video games have always been... Oh, okay, nice. Video games have always been like that, where if people are not winning, then you're cheating. You know? That said, I do think that this game, because it has so many more things you can do than older games, the more things you can do in a game, the more things you can play around with and try to exploit. That's just how it goes.
When he comes close, tie him up. The referee's then got to paw you. Walk around the ring. You've just got to make the most of it. Because if you let him jump back on you again, he's going to get momentum and pull you down again. And that's a lot of points to lose in the round.
We need to turn this around halfway through.
Flat-footed, that's always
You
nice.
don't want the cornermen now. It's down to them doing their job. Let's get through the round, regroup, freshen up, boom. Different tactics.
Mile.
Are we about to see the legend Ferreira go
I
down?
want that one. And we get him down, because even offline, this is a huge problem.
And it appears the onslaught is over,
Nope.
at least for now.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round.
Boy, he actually ducked under mine. Ducking.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah, I was going to say that was 2 power punches in a row. Alright, back up off me, dude.
They're happy this round's coming to an end. 10 seconds left.
I don't know what that first animation was.
Let's talk about Ferreira in that last round.
Alright.
And there's the bell for round 8. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up.
And then there still are punches that just look like they're going through people.
This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your...
That's why I wonder how much of that is really desync. Because they talk about a lot of stuff that's, oh, well, that's desync. But you see almost all of it, if not all of it, offline. It's just less egregious.
The straight right just misses.
So, I don't know. I don't really trust the whole, oh, well, it's desync that's causing all these problems. I don't really think it is. I think a lot of these problems are caused by just a poor programmed game in a lot of ways. There we go. He's just throwing way too much there. You know, I think it's programmed play against the computer, like, which it should be, right? If you're making a game, you want to make sure that people playing against the computer, they're gonna have the best experience there. And yeah, obviously we live in an online world, though. Like, if a game doesn't have an online community, there's nothing you can do with it. And I do think that's the problem here, is that this game, one, I don't think it's built on an engine that can actually do anything with, like, as far as making this better, right? Because, like, if you made this even, like, on the Unreal Engine or something like that, it would look good. But, you know, it all still suffers from so many problems. But, like I said, I doubt I'll be putting up many more fights online, at least until there's an update, at which point I'm worried that things are just going to get a lot worse here, because that's kind of been how the updates have gone. But, you know, I'll still stream some quick fights here against the computer, because that's where I think the game looks best, plays best, and where I actually enjoy it. So, if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate it.